it is Cardoso that he's at the reins, to ensure what you've just spoken about. Yeah. Coming over to you again, Kehinde, as I was saying, the sense of optimism, is quite high. And as you know, it has also been advised that take it easy, fellow countrymen. The naira is not likely to become 500 or 600 naira to the dollar anytime soon. Would you like to speak to that, even as highly qualified as Mr. Cardoso comes? He has his work cut out for him, doesn't he?
But there's no doubt that one of the functions of the CBN governor is to provide direction to government policy. When we talk of various CBN governors, what we see basically is how they have used their knowledge, their reputation, their understanding of the system to impact the management of the financial system. And that's why when you talk of a Soludo, when you talk of the former Emir of Kano, what we talk about them in any of the cases is that when they became CBN governor, they brought their knowledge, they brought their experience to impact on the direction of policy, and that is basically what and where we should expect Mr. Cardoso to come in bringing his knowledge of the system, in bringing his consistency, in bringing his approach to management of affairs to give direction to the market. And I believe that the market will respond positively when it begins to unveil some of those things. What I find very salutary so far is the effort of the CBN to retrieve loans that it gave out, particularly under the Anchor Borrowers scheme, for example. I'm quite sure when some of these loans are brought back, it will also help to stabilize the resources available and improve the condition, the status of the exchange rate. So I believe that the most important thing which we expect a CBN governor to do, Mr. Cardoso will do it and will do it very well in providing direction and in letting the financial system have the confidence that now you have somebody who understands the system and who is ready and willing to ensure that the Nigerians have a better deal when it comes to the use of the financial system and the management of the exchange rate. So I believe that the expectations of Nigerians cannot be thwarted in view of what they have gone through in the last few months or years. But now that they have somebody who is committed to making things better, I think it's only normal and expected that they should expect that it will respond to their yearnings and do everything possible to make sure that the exchange rate is affordable and does not have to cost so much sweat as it's causing for many people right now. So I think we're on the right path, and I think the choice is something that all of us will celebrate.
As has been observed, Mr. Cardoso is arriving, just days, as it were, to the next Monetary Policy Committee meeting. Do you expect, I mean, he's new, right? Do you expect, tell me your expectations as a result of that? Or maybe do we have to wait till the next one after that? Or do you think that he's actually going to lay some ground rules as to how he would like to see things go?
I think one of the criticisms of the last regime was the monetarist authority delving into fiscal matters. And I think what I'm going to find out is that a retrieval of that position, that is, you're going to have more reliance and clear separation between fiscal and monetarist measures. And the CBN will be expected to deal much more with its area, which is the monetarist measures that will help to further boost the economy and ensure that it can compete very, very well. So what I'm expecting therefore is that there will be less fiscal and more monetarist in the kind of methods that we use, in kind of policies that Mr. Cardoso is going to encourage as CBN governor. And okay. I believe this will ultimately will mean that the role of the central bank as the government's lender of last resort will not be abused under his regime.
Okay, let me bring in Mr. Joshua in Irewolede. Good morning to you. It's been quite a while.
Good morning. How are you?
Very well, sir. Thank you for calling in.
I'm back. I traveled.
I see.
Quickly, I'm happy about the appointment of Cardoso, Mr. Cardoso, and I think he should perform because, like the president, the man is a thinker, and those people would have an understanding of what to do. I'm not expecting him to perform magic. But the truth is that under Emefiele, Oguyori, for like 1 month, I was angry with myself that we had that situation in Nigeria.
I was hoping we could leave Mr. Emefiele out of it and just be looking forward. Or is that difficult to do?
No problem. The economy was badly managed. Now that brought us to where we are now. Meaning that if you put the right person there, no problem. Or if you put the right person there, then that person should be able to do the right thing.
That's right.
And doing the right thing means that we can make progress gradually. I want to ask your guest, Oguyori, why is this Naira swap between China not happening? Why are we still so much dependent on the dollar? Why? What's the problem that this pressure is on Nigeria? I need us to open up that place so that this CBN governor can interrogate it and do something for us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Joshua, calling in from Irewolede. The question you asked, I guess we could set up a whole program about that particular one. But indeed, you might want to touch on it as you go. But going back to the Monetary Policy Committee that he's going to be part of, what do you expect out of that? This is not one of those jobs where you try to find out the lie of the ground and how it works. No, you're supposed to have known all of that at his level. You know all of that, and you also know how you want it to go. And is he the chair of the...
He is the chairman.
He is the chair.
There are 9 people there, so
yes.
They will have to vote.
Yes.
And so sometimes his opinion might be differ from them, but whoever votes, and then
wherever the vote goes.
That's how it goes. But
they come up with the interest rate, do they?
Yeah, they come up with their interest rate. So that's why I'm talking about the copy and paste. See, what we have done in Nigeria and thus far is because America hike rate, because they have inflation. We hike rate because we have inflation. America hike rate, the next monetary committee, we hike rate. So you see, we're just doing copy and paste. We're not looking at the dynamics of our own economy.
Okay, that's what you mean.
What our own economy is suffering from is different from what their own economy is suffering from. Now, their own economy may be suffering for too much liquidity in the system. But their own economy also could be suffering from too much liquidity not finding its way to the productive sector. So that's why they will hike rate. Now, our own economy is suffering from pressure that comes from production, that comes from microeconomic instability, that comes from exchange rate volatility. So you don't, by the time you hike rate and you already have a microeconomic challenges, what you are doing is you are saying businesses is going to cost you high to borrow more. If you borrow, you are going to pay high for borrowing. And these are all businesses that are already struggling to pay the already one they've borrowed. So what do you find out? You find out in the bank balance sheet, you have increase in non-performing loans. So you don't just copy and paste. You need to look at the dynamics of your own economy and say, look, based on this, these are our challenges. So how do we address these our challenges? Now, that was what the former CBN governor were doing. But you are not supposed to do that directly. That's where we had the problem. You are supposed to go through the commercial bank. They are the ones that can give loan and recover loan, because you don't just collect loan, you collect loan based on collateral.
Thank you. Let me bring in Mr. Bamigbetan on this particular aspect that Mukhtar is talking about. Would you like to weigh in on this aspect? How?
Well, I agree with him that Nigerians are looking forward to lower interest rates. One of the reasons right now is that there are so many packages, even that the banks are trying to sell, that people are not taking up because of the interest rates. And so I think going forward, we will expect the CBN governor and the monetary committee to look at the idea of, or the possibility of lowering the interest rate in such a way that more people can go to the banks and get loans and be able to pay within reasonable time, because that is killing production, that is killing trade, is killing commerce. And so I think that's one of the ways in which we should be looking for a solution to our problem right now. But for us to trigger production, for us to get people working, to get the country working again, then access to capital becomes very, very important. And the fact basically is that the extent to which we have brought the issue of collateral into these matters, many banks have become much more liberal in those areas. So let us encourage a system that is much more also liberal in terms of what you need to have before you can get loans. Because the point basically is that for 200 million people to feed, to grow the economy, the access to finance has become so critical a factor that it's one way in which, if the CBN gets it right, we will begin to at least grow the economy and we begin to even tackle the problem of inflation. So I think that's one way we should be looking towards getting solution to our problem. So I agree very, very much with Mokta that we cannot just follow what is happening in the metropolitan economies. We have to look at our own economy, look at the character of the economy, look at the distortions within our own economy, and respond to it appropriately and adequately. And interest rate regime has become a major factor in that controversy.
Indeed. Mazi Okorafor in Arochukwu, morning to you, sir.
Good morning, good morning, Mota Mohammed. From our guests on the studio, Mazi Okorafor. I think congratulations to our new CBN, at least Cardoso. I want you to look into this issue of foreign exchange rate in terms of manufacturers, our local manufacturers, and foreign manufacturers. You see, we have to record that the foreign manufacturers, their own exchange rate is different from Nigerian local manufacturers. Let me look at everything as a drive. Now, the students, see, our students are having a lot of problems in terms of remittance of their money. Let the CBN find that solution to that so that it will help them, because it is not healthy. And the issue of international airliners, they have been complaining that their money is being stuck in CBN. They cannot have access to their money. And I was told the last time before that the federal government gave their order till December. Why? I'm running a business. I need my money. Why must you come and stop my money in Nigerian CBN?
Okay.
Why?
Yeah,
and I hear my money to do what?
Mazi, thank you very much for calling in, sir. Of time, I appreciate your call. There was a time they were talking about they were going to clear that backlog of I don't know.
When you have a backlog, then you have to have the liquidity to clear it. The challenge we have in Nigeria is the liquidity. Like Mazi Okorafor was talking about, two exchange rates. The SMEs in Nigeria. You know, that's a major challenge. Now, what it means, the manufacturer, foreign manufacturer, I don't think they are foreign manufacturers, they are Nigerian manufacturers, but have a global outlook. They are the ones that normally have access to the I&E window, comparable to our own SMEs. Now, our own SMEs are the ones that are using the Bureau de Change. So we need to begin to see how so small businesses can also have access to the I&E window, which is a window that is strictly driven by the Central Bank of Nigeria. So you know the big companies can always access that windows because they have the large fund. They are the one looking for 300 million, 40-something million, 30 million. But the SME man is looking for a seamless way to access $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, or $10,000. So that is what he will need to work on. If you want to bring the interest, you want to bring the exchange rate volatility down now. It's not rocket science. Get the bank involved. The bank have a lot of offshore funds. Let them bring their offshore funds. Let the banks form their own bureau de change, whereby that man that it's an SME can walk in there and get his thing with documentation and also become a competitor to the bureau de change. So once they create that market, because what is happening now, the SMEs that used to access bureau de change, you have not created that market for them that those are competing with the bureau de change. So you continue to have that high risk. He has his work cut out. I hope he will be able to sort it out.
Indeed. Kehinde, coming back to you, as everybody knows that he's not moving into the I understand that we've lost Mr. Kehinde Bamigbetan, but we thank him for the time that he was on. We're going to have to be closing very, very shortly, because it also comes back, all these things you said. I think it was Mr. Joshua in Irewoledi who was saying that, why can't we explore alternative ways of paying? And I think he was going to the, what is that?
Chinese swap deal.
Yes. But I don't know. We probably don't have the time to do it.
We don't have the time to dive into it. The Chinese swap deal didn't work because, again, when you want to do a swap deal, the volume of trade between you and them should be a little bit, not the type of wide gap that we had. Okay. Because most of our trading was, we were always the one going to China, want to buy the goods. The Chinese were not trading with our own goods like that. So you can never have that.
Like that. There's no parity, no equality at all. Well, I want to thank you very much, Mukhtar. Thank you very much, as always, for coming on. Finance with Mukhtar, you know him, chartered stockbroker. He said, all joined together. Thank you very much, my brother, for coming on the program. And also our regards to Mr. Kehinde Bamigbetan, former commissioner for information and strategy in Lagos State. Well, that's our program today. Please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I'm Yori Folare. Bye-bye for now.